Well, thanks for coming. This event is always, we do this showcase twice a year, and it's like different every time. One of the beauties of Rally is the diversity of the founders and the issues that we get to work with. Just a reminder, if you're not familiar with Rally, Rally is a network of people, entrepreneurs, investors, government officials, academics, philanthropists, a network of people who are committed to solving intractable problems all over the world by releasing early stage social entrepreneurs to attack those problems. And we've been doing that, releasing early stage social entrepreneurs for over 5 years. We've now accelerated over 100 early stage entrepreneurs all over the world in all sorts of issues. And we do it by leveraging what's here in Orlando. Innovative problem solvers, creative philanthropy, smart investment, and entrepreneurial coaching, all to attack real intractable problems. And this evening is a really fun crew of entrepreneurs, really diverse all over the world. The other thing that's fun about tonight's showcase is that we have several of our past fellows who are going to share some updates. One of the things we found over the years running Rally is that different from other accelerators, because our entrepreneurs are committed to solving social problems, they quit way less. They persist much more. They'll keep a project going because they care about the issue they're addressing. And so one of the things that we're going to start surfacing in our showcase every time is the way we're trying to continue to resource past fellows that have been through the program and the wins that they make as they continue to push their issue up the hill and get the problem solved. So before we get into our presentations, I want to bring up our board chair, Rob Panapinto, who's going to share a few words with us.
Thank you, Ben. Always one of my favorite nights of the year. So thank you all for coming. Thanks for the folks who are here online as well. The online piece has become far more important because those of you who've been with us from the beginning, right? This started only as an Orlando initiative. We were trying to promote social enterprise in our backyard, and little by little, these seeds we planted have grown to, in this cohort, is heavily international, as opposed to companies in our local area. So just amazing what we've been able to accomplish. And I just want to say a minute just to thank the folks who allow us to get this done. So, because it's really been a really interesting partnership, cross-sector of public sector, the private sector, and as Ben says, what he calls them, Orlando's most innovative entrepreneurs who want to solve problems. So, one, I want to thank both Orange County and the City of Orlando for their support. The City of Orlando was with us at the very founding of the entity, and we never would have been able to launch this without the support of the City of Orlando, and we wouldn't be able to scale it without the support of Orange County. And while the dollars are great, it was really important to us to have public sector involvement from the very beginning, because the problems that our social entrepreneurs are often solving are problems that government is struggling to tackle themselves. Right. So having government engaged with us to help address these issues is very important. There are very few social enterprises, you'll hear them tonight, where they're not crossing the public sector at some point in what they do. So thank you to both Orange County and the City of Orlando for their continued support of our efforts on behalf of entrepreneurs and the community. I also want to thank the Central Florida Foundation. Mark Brewer, the CEO of the foundation, is here tonight. Mark and I, for our side of how we created Rally, crafted this up in the boardroom of the Central Florida Foundation, initially around how do you help nonprofits think about social enterprise and social impact models to move away from being reliant on philanthropy. And the foundation has been a wonderful partner for us, continues to this day to provide a lot of our back end support. So part of the reason we're able to be as lean and nimble as entrepreneurs we are is because we've got big brother behind the scenes, the foundation really helping us. Thirdly, I'd like to thank Rollins College. I don't think anyone from Rollins is here tonight, but another component we wanted was a very strong academic component as we built our curriculum. And Rollins has a social enterprise program at the undergraduate level. Their tied to the International Ashoka program, so a very strong partner for us, again, from our very launch. And then I also want to thank all of our rally makers. So rally makers, and there are a couple in the room tonight. I see Terry's right in front of me, is here tonight. And these are folks who serve two things, right? You think about people's engagement, time and treasure, and well, these folks give both their time and treasure. So they provide mentorship to our entrepreneurs. They provide strategic counsel to Ben, Kyle, myself in the running of Rally, but they also contribute to the program and make philanthropic contributions to Rally on an annual basis. So, and most of them have been with us from the very beginning. Most of them who've been with us from the very beginning continue on with us now 6-7 years later, which, as Mark will tell you, in the cycles of philanthropy does not always happen. People sort of come and they move on. But I think these are people, as Ben has always said, are very committed to what we're doing. And again, we just wouldn't be able to do it. We do it without them. So I'm thankful for all their support. It's what allows us to be here tonight and do what we're doing. The benefit, hopefully, we're bringing to these entrepreneurs and to addressing the problems they're trying to solve, both here in Central Florida and globally. With that, I will bring up my friend Kyle Steele.
Right here. Hey everybody. Good evening. I'm Kyle Steele, Program Director of Rally. I thought about this. I was like, what do I talk about once I get up here? Besides just kind of go through structurally what will happen this evening. So I have a little time to do that. One of the things I was thinking about was when I first moved to Orlando and started doing this work, I always thought of Orlando kind of like as a second tier city. It's like, hey, we're somebody, but like little brother kind of to everyone else. And then I met Ben and and he brought me into this thing that we now call Rally. And once again, as I looked out at the ecosystem, I said to myself, yeah, it's people out there doing it bigger, more money, more resource. We're kind of like little brother, and how do we not be annoying and help people out in the process? What I realized as I moved through this journey is that we're not little brother. I have the privilege of being involved as previously a visiting social entrepreneur at Stanford University. I have the privilege of being actively involved in a group that consists of all the big players, Echoing Green, Camelback, Helicon, 4.0 schools. I have the privilege of meeting with them once a month, getting on calls. And what I find is that they actually reach out to us because of the work that we're doing and the name that that Rally has and the Orlando ecosystem has started to produce, both nationally and also internationally. And so they call on us for this stuff. And as I sit in these meetings, I'm like awed by it. Like, I'm like, wait, we're the thought leaders on how to get applicants from heart to reach places like Pakistan in terms of visa. Like, we're providing expert, like, don't y'all have this figured out with all the money y'all have? Like, the answer is no. And then I find out like about, and then I go through all the litany of things that, and in terms of our thought leadership and how we approach things here locally in Orlando. And I realize like, oh, we bring a lot of value. And then I start to see them send social entrepreneurs from their programs to us. Like this past one, we had 2 Echoing Green fellows. We have fellows from Camelback who were part of the program. And I start to think like, yo, no, we're not little brother. Like, we are an equal participant, a respected participant. And when they share it with us, and I showed Ben this earlier, like Camelback sent us a list of 250 applicants that went through their system because they felt like they can all benefit from us. And they're like, every one of our applicants can benefit from you guys. And so what they really appreciate overall is not only our thought leadership, but how hands-on that we work. Like, although they provide much needed money, much needed resources and networks, what we do that's really unique is our minds and our willingness to get in the driver's seat or next to them and co-pilot this thing with them. And that's what we do really special. And so I think as a community, as a city, as a community, we really need to celebrate that. We are not little brother. We are twins, big brothers, whatever, parents sometimes in this social entrepreneurship equation. And I really want to say I'm thankful to all of you for participating in this and allowing Rally to shine like this on a global scale. So I just want to say thank you for that. Now, this current cohort consists of, it started off as 9 fellows. For unfortunate and some fortunate reasons, some had to drop. And 2 of them we're actually in conversations with right now about bringing them back into the following cohort. Very beautiful. One has a really amazing story that one day we'll love to be able to share with you. But right now we have 6, and they are high quality social entrepreneurs. 2 from Pakistan, 1 from Canada, 1 from New Jersey, 1 local, and then I feel like I'm missing 1 more, Brooklyn, New York. I can't. Wilbur will never forgive me for missing him. But 1 from Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, there we go. So we have 6. Yes, we have six amazing social entrepreneurs. Kind of the cadence works is here. The cadence is this. They all have done 3-minute videos, prepackaged. You'll see those, and then we'll bring them up for 2 minutes of Q&A where we'll ask them questions about their journey and their experience. And so that's what tonight consists of. The last thing I want to say before I move forward is that applications for our next cohort, which is winter 2024, are now open or have been open for a while. They close on November 10th. So if you know social entrepreneurs or anyone in the space who may be a benefit, let's just send them our way, send them to rallysea.com or email us directly and we'll reach out to them. But I just want to at least let folks know that the applications are open but will be closing November 10th. With that being said, the first social entrepreneur that we'll bring up is Sannan Khan. He's out of Pakistan, and the name of his venture is called Foster Learning.
Hello, this is Sannan Khan representing Foster Learning. Foster Learning is an edtech social enterprise. We're bridging the skills gap among Pakistani youth who are studying in university or recently graduated and are struggling with getting jobs or skills to start their own business. Our impact model is we are working on social and economic empowerment of low-income youth from remote cities through skills-based education, and we help them start their own business or equip them with skills so they can find a better job. Our purpose is clear, and we want to economically and socially empower low-income youth of Pakistan. Our beneficiaries are aged 18 to 27, undergraduate or graduate studying in a university, male, female. Mostly we're targeting remote cities of Pakistan and youth who are struggling to find jobs or even internships. 78% of Pakistani employers are not satisfied with the quality of graduates, and that is a big problem. And primarily this is because they say there in the report, in the survey, that youth lacks necessary soft skills and technical skills to find a job, and this is exactly what we're addressing. Our impact strategy is that we have developed an online web-based portal for which comprises of courses. The student goes and sign up online. AI skills assessment help them select the right course for them, and once the course is completed, they are directed to industry for placement, and after the internship is completed, they are either offered a job or they can switch. And after that, we create an impact assessment. So far we have 80% job ratio, and 765 startups have been initiated. Our business model comprises of, we have online courses where we sell them directly to our students, or we sell courses to industry, and we charge industry for placements too. We have social media community for marketing, and our impact metrics are how many jobs were, how many students got hired, and how many startups are initiated. Our customer base is $6 billion. There is TAM, and we have 36 million youth in Pakistan, out of which we're targeting 1 million. The customer problem, if I mentioned, 63% population is below the age of 30, who lack skills, who are mostly unemployed, and mostly belongs to remote cities. The solution, as mentioned, is AI-powered LMS to help them get skilled and get hired in the industry. We are charging $10 on average per course, and we're looking to $1.8 million by 2025 by training 200,000 students. And our product market fit is we have an online edtech community. We have A to Z skills courses, which are local in local language. We have Pakistan's largest edtech community, as I mentioned, and we help them connect, get hired, and train, get skilled. And we have a team which comprises of I'm the CEO. We have people who have foreign qualified, who are Oxford University graduates and IT specialists. And we're looking for $500,000 grant, $500,000 funds to work on course development, human resource, and marketing. And that's all. Thank you very much.
Oh, there he is. Hey, bud. Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Likewise. Very happy to see you.
So tell me, how many did you have that had been through your program already when you came to us?
Somewhere 60,000.
Yeah. Did you hear that? The challenge for this in Pakistan is significant, right? And so we see certificate or skills-based learning and feel like that's an easy lift. In Pakistan, it's a particular challenge of people not getting the jobs that they ought to be able to get, not having the economic security they ought to have. And so with that kind of success already, Sannan, you were looking to start a new program. All of that, those thousands of students were in person, right? And you were launching an online platform. Is that right?
Yeah, Ben, actually, we wanted to scale and target 1 million.
Yeah.
And to target 1 million, the question was very simple. Conventional model doesn't make us reach there, even in 10 years. So we wanted to scale and use technology. And that is how I came to know about, Rally and how it can help me transform my conventional business into a tech-based scalable model.
Awesome.
And as we talked, right?
Yeah, totally. Can you say maybe one or two top things that you took away from the Rally program, Sannan?
Yeah, it's basically impact model. So I've been focusing on business model throughout, but I think impact model was something which was very important for me as a social enterprise, keeping in mind UN SDGs and something. And secondly, which helped me really when we had a discussion where individual discussion one-on-one, where you navigate me through my first, second, and third stage. So I think somehow I was trying to do everything all together.
Yeah.
That conversation, if you remember, you and Kyle and me, where you were able to convince me that the fact that I need to do first step first and second and then third. And that really worked, the pilot,
Awesome, Sannan. So you heard him say, focusing on his theory of change, building equal rigor around his social measure as around his for-profit strategy, and then being able to think incrementally. You work with entrepreneurs, immediately, if you can think incrementally, that it heightens your chance of success. Sannan, can you give us one immediate short-term goal that you have that you feel excited to reach in the next coming months?
So we are launching LMS. We are looking forward to enroll 25,000 students in next 3 months. LMS is all set. We have taken an in-house person. The pilot version, beta version has been launched already. And we're very excited for this is happening in 2 years, after 2 years. I told you I'm not a techie, but we were able to manage the tech and everything involved. So very excited for the first 25,000, inshallah.
Awesome. Good work, Sannan. Thanks.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful to Rally and everybody involved.
Next, we stay in Pakistan, and we have Shahzadi with us from Pakistan. So let's see her presentation.
I am Shahzadi Faiza, founder of Digital Girls. My mission is to empower women with digital skills. I believe that every woman should have the opportunity to pursue her dreams and build her career in digital skills. I was inspired to create Digital Girls because I grew up in a society where women faced societal, cultural, and religious restrictions that limit girls' access to resources, education, and economic opportunities. In Pakistan, women are about 48.6% of Pakistan total population. That makes around 107 million. Out of this, Only 1% females are paying tax to contribute in Pakistan economy, and rest of them don't have an economic opportunities and source of livelihood. To create economic opportunities for both women and Pakistan, we established Digital Girls. Digital Girls provides the dual solution, which is affordable and accessible to all women with one goal, that is learn from home and work from home. Digital Girls is the fastest route for employment for unemployed women who wants to learn from home and work from home. Our program empowering women to develop the right skills for employment that makes economic growth and higher job placement. After completing digital marketing training, women can earn from running Facebook ads campaign, Google ads campaign, social media marketing, blogging with AdSense, even online selling of her products. Our target audience is women whose age between 18 to 35 years, and our goal is to train 1,000 women by next year. We are generating revenue by teaching digital marketing course for 3 months, only justing $300. Our most strong USP is learn from home and work from home. Women can feel more secure and safe with Digital Girls. For growth, we need $25,000. That investment will enable us to train 1,000 women per year. Meet my team, Mr. Rafi, Kiran, and Uzefa. Thank you really for giving me this wonderful opportunity to present my idea.
Hey, Shazadi, great to see you.
Hi, Ben. Hi, everyone.
Thanks for joining us. That presentation was really great. And it's another opportunity for us to talk about the scale of the problem for you. Can you just describe a little bit about how you got started with Digital Girls and where the motivation came from for you?
Yes, I was inspired to create Digital Girls because I grew up in a society where there are so many cultural, societal, and religious restrictions that limits girls' access to resources and education. So, my empathy towards women who wants to learn from home and work from home allowed me to establish Digital Girls. At Digital Girls, we are empowering women with digital skills so that they can contribute in Pakistan economy and also improve their standard of living.
I love it. It's like inspiring for me to know that somewhere in homes in Pakistan, you're working to solve a problem that I'm marginally familiar with. And as soon as I hear is a real challenge. What are the challenges that you're facing right now, Shazadi, in getting Digital Girls up and running?
We are facing challenges in our marketing and, to convince women because in Pakistan, people don't have awareness about digital skills and how they earn online handsome income, because in Pakistan we are just women are focusing on to teaching jobs and doctor want to become a doctor. They don't have they don't recognize that what is the potential of being a tech expert, uh, being a social media marketer, or even graphic designing. So there is a gender gap in digital industry as well. And also in Pakistan, software houses are male dominated society, and they don't think that females are good tech experts. They limit their roles in just receptionist and salespersons.
They haven't met you yet, Shazadi, if they think that, huh? Shazadi, what if you had to boil down one or two things that you're taking away from the Rally program, what would you say those things are?
I think impact model and theory of change. I love these models, and they really help us to find the real problem
Mm-hmm.
and to create solutions and to make innovate solutions.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you really for your curriculum. It is outstanding.
Awesome. And Shazadi, one thing I know that we worked on with you was like thinking about your pricing model and how you move towards sales for these programs. What are you looking for in terms of traction and sales? What's your next step goal in selling this course to women?
Okay, our next year goal is to train 1,000 women.
Mm-hmm. 1,000 women. How reachable is that for you, you think?
And we will creating a Facebook ads campaigns to reach this potential women and target audience.
Awesome. I have all the confidence, Shazadi. I believe you'll do it. Thanks for joining us, Shazadi.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you all.
Oh, fun. Next, I want to bring up Gordon. Yeah, come on up, Gordon, folks, from Archer First Response. So I should have done my homework to figure out when you came through the program. Do you remember when you finished the rally program?
Maybe 2 years ago.
Is it 2 years
was
ago?
like-
I was gonna guess a year ago.
Yeah, it was the height of the pandemic. It
Okay.
was, unfortunately, we were able to do a lot of in-person stuff because we were in the
Yeah,
the
we didn't see
COVID
each other.
bubble. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so about 2 years
You
ago.
were zooming to us from downtown Orlando.
Yes, yeah, from all the way downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gordon, can you give the room just a quick synopsis of what Archer Systems does?
Sure. Yeah. So we are a 911 integrated drone deployment infrastructure company. We help bridge the gap for EMS agencies, law enforcement agencies, fire rescue agencies to thoroughly implement unmanned aircraft to transport time-sensitive medical devices. There's a lot of logistics in utilizing these aircraft. They're very athletic, they're very programmable, but there's a lot of challenges to actually implement them and use them effectively. So we try and bridge all of that gap so agencies don't have to do the research and development, understanding all the regulations, all the technology, underlying infrastructure to actually implement these, and instead bring them a full turnkey piece of infrastructure that they can implement and start using this technology to help, potentially save lives.
Yeah. So if you caught it, drones that come up out of the ground and deliver defibrillators or Narcan to a location dispatched by 911.
Yeah. At the end of
Amazing.
the day, yeah, we help agencies transport time-sensitive medical devices on drones, but
Amazing.
all of the soup to nuts infrastructure that helps do that. Yeah.
Super cool. And when you left us, it was like you had the hardware figured out, you had pieces of the software figured out. 2 years ago, where are you at now? What's going on?
Yeah. So today we're integrated across 5,000 911 agencies across the country from a software standpoint. We've integrated into multiple different computer-aided dispatch softwares that allow agencies to implement this infrastructure without complicated integrations. It's really streamlined. We've certified parachute recovery systems. We've integrated with companies like AT&T and Raytheon. We have new customers, new clients since we're going through the program. So yeah, we've definitely grown from a product standpoint, from a customer standpoint. Yeah.
One of the things I remember, Gordon, about you coming through the program was I was like impressed at the complexity of Excel spreadsheets you could build. Like at one point we were like asking about, can we quantify like the live potential saved and the dollars it would mean for a hospital, and like your ability to pull complex numbers together was like super cool for me. But like, is it a stretch to say that your program implemented could save lives? Like, have you thought about that more since walking up towards implementing it in Tampa?
Yeah. So our two core focuses are on sudden cardiac arrest and opioid overdoses. We help transport automated external defibrillators, which is a really time-sensitive lay rescuer device that's needed immediately to prevent fatalities, and also naloxone or Narcan nasal spray, which is helps counteract opioid overdoses. So each year there's 360,000 episodes of cardiac arrest across all ages. It's the leading cause of death in student athletes. I think the average age is 40 of somebody who has cardiac arrest. And of those 360,000, 90% are fatal. right now. And our goal really is to help ensure that these life-saving devices, namely defibrillators, can get to a victim in need immediately. And really, there's been a standard paradigm since the creation of the defibrillator, which is basically put them everywhere, try and have as many publicly accessible defibrillators as possible, and cross your fingers and hope that you have cardiac arrest somewhere near one.
Yeah, I remember.
But we're still seeing 90% fatality rates, and about 70 to 80% of cardiac arrest happens in the home anyways.
Wow.
And most people don't have these devices in home. So if we can broaden the reach of a single device, our systems cover 35 square miles with average response times of 2.5 minutes. We can get these devices to more people more quickly, and hopefully electrocute someone and restart their heart before it's too late. Yeah.
What's like the biggest block to you right now? If you could remove one thing, what would you remove to get in the field?
There's kind of two parts of this. I'd say initially when we first started the company, the thing I always say is kind of like the sci-fi factor. A lot of people hear like, oh, you're going to be flying robots to people to drop off defibrillators. That sounds like super futuristic Jetson stuff. And so like, come back to us in 10 years when we have flying cars and we'll talk about it. And getting over that hurdle and having like unmanned air systems adopted into kind of commonplace society was a big initial hurdle. But since then, like there's regular TV commercials with drones in it. They're in Netflix shows. Kyle was just telling me about a show that has just random drones in it. And it's kind of beyond the pale now where it's very commonplace to see these aircraft. Now the technology has evolved exponentially quicker than the regulatory framework has. And so not only myself, the entire industry, along with the Federal Aviation Administration and the federal government are working to incorporate all these devices into the national airspace. And if I could snap my fingers and solve that problem super quickly at like a mass scale across the country, which we're working to do, but if I could snap my fingers and do it instantaneously, it would solve a lot of problems for us and a lot of problems for the industry at large.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is kind of the challenges when introducing brand new technologies into such a regulated environment, not just from like just a written law standpoint, but also just the safety aspect of the national airspace. We have the most active national airspace in the world, and we also have the safest one. It's because of all those regulations in place. But so it's challenging, but it's certainly one of the exciting parts, and how you're able to like kind of know that you're doing something new when there is these like unclear paths that you're having to chart yourself and figure out these problems on a day-to-day basis and just kind of keep pushing at it.
Cool. Is there a specific way people can help you right now?
Just support. You know, I think having a community around here, the community in Orlando is awesome. The community here at Raleigh is awesome. Just watching these past two videos, I was just thinking like, there are people who see problems and are like, oh, that's annoying. I wish that wasn't a problem. And there's like people who see problems and are like, you know what, I'm gonna do something about it. And knowing that the people who participate in Raleigh, the rally makers, the organization, knowing that we have a community here in Orlando, and I guess internationally with how broad Raleigh's gotten, is super awesome. So just honestly support, having a community, having like someone to reach out to. Matt was just like, yeah, if I can ever help, just, you know, ping me, hit me an email. Like, so having that and just having access to an awesome support is really just one of the nicest things in this area, and the only thing I can really ask for.
Awesome. Thanks, Gordon. I'm glad you're here, man, and continued success.
Yeah. I know if it's good.
I'll take it. Yep. So Gordon is a good example of what I was talking about earlier, where these entrepreneurs, especially when they're connected to issues that they care about, just don't quit and keep pushing. And he's moving the ball forward, which is really inspiring to see. Our next founder that we have is Jessica King with Flow and Tell.
Hi, I'm Jessica King. Our product at Flow and Tell is designed for women who are experiencing menstrual and inflammatory pain and don't have a word for it. In most cases, it could be endometriosis. Endometriosis is a very painful inflammatory disease that affects the reproductive lining and intestines. It affects about 10% of women, but takes 10 years to diagnose because the symptoms overlap with PMS and have been normalized as part of a woman's normal cycle. Most women only find out about it because they're facing infertility, but the pain is so severe that 1 in 6 women will lose their jobs due to pain management. The financial burden and emotional toll of endometriosis is staggering. The typical woman spends $50,000 and consults over 7 practitioners before getting a diagnosis. These disparities are especially pronounced in medical deserts where OB/GYN accessibility is limited and disproportionately affects BIPOC and low-income individuals. At Flowentel, we're minimizing office visits by offering non-invasive wearable screening kits. Instead of lab results that are hard to interpret, the results are sent immediately to your phone with no shopping around for doctors because we connect you to a network of endo specialists. Our solution is twofold. First, an at-home screening kit available for purchase directly to consumers. Second, a platform app that offers tiered subscription pricing. Compared to the diagnostic standard, we're cheaper, faster, and less invasive. Our easy-to-use kit would be ordered online and delivered to our customer's home. It uses menstrual effluent and is analyzed by a platform that immediately allows users to put a name to their pain. Our screening kit is a lateral flow assay that's embedded in a menstrual pad. It's the same technology used in pregnancy tests and COVID tests. Just it's discreet and happens entirely at home, including the analysis. When you analyze your test strip, your results are sent directly to your phone and you're connected to a team of specialists, doctors, therapists, nutritionists, workout gurus, and forums for community support. This reduces misdiagnosis and forges a quicker path to treatment. Our revenue model would be thus based on individual purchases of the testing kit and repeat purchases for those who would like to continuously monitor. It would also be based on subscription services to our app and revenue generated from sales within our platform. There are 58 million women in the U.S. at reproductive age. Our target customers include those who are seeking relief from the enduring pain and want cost-effective options and value self-care. Our vision also encompasses low-income women, BIPOC women, and women living in medical deserts who face limited access to affordable health care. Our product strategy is rooted in strategic partnerships that build a strong foundation of support. We've driven over 200 women to register on our landing page through only word-of-mouth campaigns. This early achievement really underscores an undeniable demand for our product in the market. Our strategic partnerships have been the cornerstone of our growth strategy. We've aligned with universities, incubators, and accelerators. This not only provides us access to non-dilutive funding, but also amplifies our credibility and visibility in the ecosystem by allowing us to tap into cutting-edge research and collaborate with mentors. Simply put, our strategic partnerships are not just about funding. They're about supercharging our growth and ensuring our success in a highly competitive landscape. We're currently looking to grow our team, so please let us know if you'd be able to assist.
We're lucky enough to have Jessica in the room with us today. Come on up, Jessica. Awesome. It's fun to have you here.
Thank you so much.
I was just like thinking about working with you, and there's like, you work with 100 entrepreneurs all over the world, and there are some types, right? I was thinking about David Hoja with Go Parrot, or Sam with Wriggle Brew. There's a scientist type of entrepreneur, and Jessica, you are like a scientist mind. Can you talk about how you discovered this Flowentel thing?
Okay, yeah, actually, it's a really, really long story, so I'll give you the short bit of it. Actually, I was working on a completely different prototype that was going to be worked in the brewery industry. So it was a lateral flow assay, so the same exact technology, but actually was going to be used to check for compounds that make beer taste bad. And this is while I was up at Harvard. We were closed down for the pandemic. And at the same time, I had 3 friends, completely unrelated, all of them. And they all got diagnosed with endometriosis at the exact same time. They didn't know each other, and it was only because they were all infertile. Unfortunately, 2 of them weren't able to have kids because of the endometriosis. And so I looked at my capstone advisor and I was like, is there a way that we can actually change this? I didn't realize that I had actually been published in a paper that I was cited in that dealt with endometriosis back in 2013. It was the exact same nanoparticle they were using. And so when I showed that to my capstone advisor, it was just like a small, quick change, and it became Flowentel.
So cool. Did you catch it? She was at Harvard studying how to make beer better and realized there was a problem that needed solving and changed everything.
Which now there's an opportunity for making beer better for someone else.
That's good. Jessica, the other thing that strikes me about Flowentel, and we touched on it just briefly when you're in the program, but like, how could we be this far in science and medicine and not have stumbled on this indicator already? Like, do you have a thought on that?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It wasn't until 2019 that the menstrual effluent was actually checked for its proteome and genome. That means that we waited until this long to check something that's normally considered waste and find its scientific validity. So it was only until 2019. After that, it just becomes a matter of searching through that data. And because there are so many people that are not willing to discuss this, and because it's become such a stigmatized and taboo topic, it makes it really difficult to get the funding that's necessary to talk about women's reproductive health.
So really, this story is a really cool example of the power of diverse voices in all aspects of science, medicine, and business. the problem that the reason this hasn't been discovered is because there hasn't been enough women looking at the issue. I mean, I don't know if I'm saying that too far, but that's what it feels like to me. We haven't listened to enough people, and you're there, you pay attention. What is your next step? I know it's a long road for you to get it to market. Maybe it's not, but it looks like it from where we sit. Can you help us feel like what your next step is?
It is a long road. I think that the most important thing that we're doing right now is establishing our strategic partnerships. And this is going to allow us not only to build our credibility, but also to enter our beachhead markets for the people that need it the most. We know that there is accessible income women that are struggling with fertility that would be the most likely ones that could benefit from this. But there's also a huge need for women that are living in a medical desert that don't have access to OBGYNs, that are low income or BIPOC communities. And it's really important as well, because whenever you're part of these low income and BIPOC communities, everything just kind of aggregates a little bit more. It's harder to go to a doctor's office. These don't become OBGYN visits, they become ER visits instead. So trying to minimize that with a screening kit so that somebody can have an answer instead of having to go to their last resort and miss out on work is really, really important. So by forming these strategic partnerships with things like Endo Summit and Endo Black, those can really help us gain the entry into market that we need.
Awesome. Can you give us I was just thinking 4 months is a long time for an early startup. You've been in the Rally program for 4 months. Can you think of one evolution or change that's happened in your strategy or approach in the last 4 months?
Absolutely. So not only did we are currently growing our board, and not only have we successfully grown it through some of the introductions that were made thanks to Rally, but we actually identified some of our beachhead markets as well. So as I just mentioned, the BIPOC and low-income communities weren't the ones that were originally on our horizon. It was only because of a result of Rally that we really focused on that. And the introductions that were given to us because of Rally have helped us fund our board, which makes us a much more competitive applicant for the National Science Foundation and SBIR grants that are in our future.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessica. We're proud of you. Good work. Okay, moving on. Oh, we've got another alumni spotlight. Now, Lio, if you would come up and join me. Awesome. What's that? You have to follow. That's perfect. Yeah, it's appropriate. Here, you stay here. So Lio was in our most recent cohort, right? You just finished.
This year.
Yeah, like in May or something.
I don't remember.
Whenever that one finishes, you were there, right? In the previous cohort. Can you give the room a quick synopsis of what Wolomi does?
So, hi everyone. Wolomi is a digital community for women of color to help us on our pregnancy journey and maternal health journey for better outcome and better experiences on that way. And I mean, the platform is created because of the maternal health crisis that we have in the US. So when you think about it, women of color, particularly Black women, are 3 to 4 times likely to die on their pregnancy journey. In some states think of it like 7 times likely to die than white women in some states. So, which shouldn't be.
Sure. Yeah. And can you talk about where you were when you left the program a few months ago? What your biggest win that you were shooting for was?
Yeah, when I
6 months ago.
Yes, it seems like eternity now. But when I left the program, I was really trying to focus on owning my clientele. My customer oftentimes is so easy to get busy with all the kinds of client that you could have. But I was able to kind of own in on that and really focus on going after health plans. So we sell to health insurance because for them, it's a critical issue that they need to solve, because obviously it costs a lot of money for health plans when they lose a mom, or not only lose a mom, when also maybe due to complication, or a mom can't go back to work, any of those things that happen on the maternal journey. So being able to own in on that was very, and also think about the BDC model that we wanted to go into. So that's where I was. And another thing a place I was also thinking about, as a solo founder, how do I kind of manage making sure that I'm still making my goals. And actually I was matched with Dean, and I met with him and just having those conversations. And he's not here today, but one of the conversations he had with me was that making sure that you put sales on your calendar every day and having that appointment happen And so magically I started doing that, and it's been amazing. But yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Walomi is this like platform and community that surrounds women of color through their pregnancy journey. And you can sell access to that through these healthcare providers.
Yes.
And then Dean, your rally maker's like, hey, make sales a primary activity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because as a solo founder, it's so easy to be into so many things and pushing out the, I mean, there's so much fire that goes on, especially when you're underfunded.
Yes.
So making sure that you're prioritizing and making the main thing that is actually going to propel your business. Yeah.
Cool. So a couple months ago, you're like, I'm going to sell to healthcare providers, focus on that. Where would you say you are right now? What's your biggest challenge right now or success?
Well, my biggest success is that I have about 3 to 4 health plans in my pipeline. So pretty big names like United Health, Walmart, MedStar in DC, AmeriGroup that we've signed LOI with. So LOI is just basically like, well, maybe I shouldn't go into that, but just the idea, selling to insurance often takes time. So it's not like selling to direct customers. So we've actually been in a space where now we have contracts that are going to go into effect. So that's pretty amazing.
That is amazing.
And we also have a partnership with Playtex Baby now, as we're thinking about B2C side of the business. So for every mom who buys our membership, they get something we call a starter kit. So we have a partnership with Playtex Baby to co-brand something like that. Awesome. So that's amazing.
Great.
Just because we focus also on the experience that the moms are getting, because they do deserve better than what we currently give them. Yeah.
What's one way the rally community could help Walomi?
Yeah, I think in a few months, we're kind of slow walking our way into fundraising. So any kind of support that we can get. And, I want to thank Mark for supporting us with introduction to Florida Blue. So that has been amazing. We're having events with Florida Blue in December. So definitely interns. We're looking for interns to help us staff that event. So yeah.
Awesome. Lio, we're super proud of you and really fun to watch you continue to push something you're passionate about. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Our next fellow is a current fellow, and that's Wilbur Pack from Brooklyn.
Hi, my name is Wilbur. I am the CEO, founder, and designer of Be Brave by SK Wilbur, a lifestyle brand connecting young people to their greatness. 1 in 4 young people are not in education, employment, or training. That means there's a lack of positive cultural representation that can cause 7.4 million Black U.S. middle school students to struggle with seeing educational and career pursuits as meaningful and obtainable. Studies show that this leads to decreased school enrollment, poorer Black communities, and ultimately higher crime rates. Be Brave by SK Wilbur uses thoughtful, original design and engaging content to provide middle school age children with cultural representations of themselves, increasing their self-esteem, sense of belonging, and hope for their future. Our collectible QR code hang tag gives kids access to entertaining videos created by young people just like them who use rap, dance, spoken word to encourage, inspire, and teach. Our focus is to develop meaningful partnerships and stimulating programming with cultural institutions and performing arts after-school programs that create videos for our platform. Nearly 10.2 million children and youth participate in after-school programs annually, with an additional 10 million in summer camps and 6 million in 4-H programs. We also utilize a wholesale direct consumer business model for additional sales. Be Brave by SK Wilbur connects kids with positive and inspiring representations of themselves and their community through durable, competitively priced backpacks. We're currently sold via our wholesale with retail partner Brooklyn Made store. We also have direct-to-consumer with our company website, walmart.com, and through area marketplaces in person. Be Brave by S.K. Wilber uses familiar, pragmatic products infused with technology to reflect young people's social identities and experiences, making them feel seen and supported while inspiring them to pursue their own greatness. I am the founder, designer, creative director with over 26 years fashion design industry experience. I'm supported by some great organizations. We need investors. Help us reach our goals. We need to hire marketing and sales professionals and a director of partnerships that will help us increase sales by 300% over the next 18 months, increase website traffic and sales, an average of 10 times over the month, and also developing a rewards program that benefits our users. Once again, my name is Wilbur. Thank you for watching.
To see you, and thank you for putting that deck together. It's like I was remembering first reviewing your application coming through for Rally months ago, and the first thing that jumps out is like the artwork on those backpacks. And I just wanted to give you a minute to tell us how you landed on that comic book style, bright color art for this project.
Hey, Ben. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
I am, I would say, a self-professed comic book nerd, although I don't really collect comic books like I did as a kid, but I always loved the art in comic books, and I always thought they were great stories, stories that inspired and empowered. And I just thought it was a really useful tool to use to connect kids, to connect them to their past and inspire them to be great.
Super cool, Wilbur. Connect them to their past and inspire them to be great. Can you give the room here a brief explanation of how you landed on this as a passion? I mean, you've been designing bags for a long time. What got you in deciding to create content and these bags and put that together for kids? It's different from what you've done before.
Well, I took a Black Studies course when I was in college, 17 years old, and I was learning about all of these amazing change makers and activists, and I was just excited. But I was just also disappointed, like, how come I was just learning about these people? It didn't make any sense to me. And that sort of has stayed with me for almost 40 years now. And finally launching the backpacks, I get a chance to tell these stories to kids that are younger than I was when I started learning about them, because my hope is that they'll just feel connected and feel like they can accomplish just about anything. And I didn't feel that way. I still have trouble with it now. I'm going to be 56 tomorrow.
Well, one of the things that that I want to make sure the room and the audience online gets very clearly is when they go to that hang tag, they're going to see content. Can you say a little bit about the type of content they'll find when they go to your website or follow that QR code?
So when I started this project, I found that there was a galaxy of Black people who did amazing things, and then I had to decide how to break that down, that learning. I couldn't include everybody all at once, and so I decided on social justice. And so my first product is the social justice backpack, and the users scan the QR code. It's collectible, takes them to the website. They see a comic rendering of the superhero. They can read a little bit about the superhero, but they can also see peers their age who have created videos performing rap, spoken word, dance that teach them about these heroes. And I feel like it's a great way to indoctrinate the kids and inform the kids, educate them, because they're speaking the same language. This is the way that kids remember things. It's not by reading textbooks and sitting in a class where they're being lectured to. I think it's that interactive connection that helps them to learn, absorb, and to inspire them.
It's super cool when you go to his website and see these young people that have created unique expressions of art, telling stories of that need to be told, ought to be told. Wilbur, people can go to your website and buy backpacks now, but if you're looking for if the best version of Be Brave by S.K. Wilbur is around in 6 months, what does it look like? What's the best version of Be Brave by S.K. Wilbur in 6 months?
I think the best version of Be Brave, it includes partnerships with after-school programs and cultural institutions where there is a program that that basically I've developed or helped them develop that teaches kids, but also gets them active and gets their creative juices flowing, and they create their own rap. I think that performance is underrated. The arts are underrated, and when you combine the arts and education, it's very effective.
Awesome. Wilbur, thanks for coming through the program, and we're going to work hard to see that best version of Be Brave in 6 months with you. So thank you for tonight. Thank you.
Oh, you know I can't let you go.
Awesome. We have one more past fellow spotlight. So Ken, if you'll join me. Ken Peach, paramedics. Ken, you're the sharpest dressed guy in the room. You look great. Thanks for being here. Ken, you came through the program, not the most recent cohort, or staying with
Gordon.
Oh, with Gordon.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So 2 years ago, we decided.
Except his height threw me off tonight because we all look the same
That's
height.
right. On Zoom, you
Zoom.
never know how tall anybody is.
Yeah.
So can you share briefly with the room what paramedics does, why it exists?
Sure.
Yeah.
When we talk about paramedics, we tend to view them as EMS only. And back in 2016, we recognized the opportunity instead to use paramedics in a non-EMS role, that is managing longitudinally chronic disease and complex patients over time. So our paramedics receive referrals from physicians for patients with congestive heart failure, COPD, and other severe chronic conditions, and they manage them, providing self-care education as an extension of the physician's practice until they're graduated and able to take care of themselves.
Awesome. And it's a really unique program that pushes towards value-based care that I think is really great, especially in long-term care for situations, right?
The movement is from fee-for-service, traditional sick medicine, where you pay a physician when you go and you're sick, to a health model similar to Medicare Advantage, where there's a payment model every month. And what the goal then becomes, keeping an individual, the goal for the physician or the physician group, keep that patient healthy, happy, and home. And in the long run, that's much more economically favorable, and it certainly is better for the patient.
Awesome. Ken, where were you when you left the program 2 years ago? What were your goals? What were you trying to get done? Can you remember?
The program was moving, but and we've been very fortunate to follow Mark Brewer's model, basically moving 100% grants to earned income. So within 2.5 years, we were actually generating revenue from physician practice as large medical groups. But some of those were still in a fee-for-service model, and as those dried out, our goal was to figure out how to take this further and move it again, as Mark suggests, to capital acquisition. So we actually formed a new for-profit company this year. The organization I run is nonprofit, and Paramedics is a service mark for that nonprofit. We formed a for-profit that is owned 10% by a holding company that is 100% owned by the nonprofit. Mm-hmm. So as I begin to my retirement, which I'm in that process now for spring of next year, the nonprofit I leave will always have a revenue flow from the for-profit based on the expansion that the for-profit's beginning to experience.
Awesome. So since you've left the program, you've started that that for-profit, and how's that going?
Slow. We formed it in January, and everybody says, well, it's tough to get that first client. But I want to congratulate Matt, who's here tonight, who's been our sales consultant under Rally 2.0. He's been on just a little under 90 days, and he committed to get a client of ours on board within that 90 days. This morning it came in, and I'm estimating right now, based on where it will be by March, $900,000 a year for us.
Awesome. Really great.
So it's, yeah. All credit to Rally and Rally 2.0.
Awesome. So that's really great. If you land that, what's your next step? What do you want to do once you close that deal?
Yeah, then closing is that it. We got the approval this morning. Now it's the legal and getting all the
Sure.
paperwork done. But what we will do is the other thing that has happened is we have a pipeline. I get ready to throw that paper at Matt all the time because it's like going to Weight Watchers. Every week, he's going to be pushing, but it's been wonderful. And we've broadened considerably the number of potential clients. I'll be in Miami in a week and a half to do one that has 40 locations around the state, all of the companies we're working with. But the biggest we had last Wednesday night when we met with a physician out in New Jersey that we've been touching base with. And we will begin to be able to do complete physical exams and other things in the home using paramedics and what we call clinical consult. Because unlike telehealth, you have a paramedic trained on one end, you have the physician or nurse practitioner on the other end. And literally, we'll be able to do any type of emergency call in the middle of the night to keep patients out of the hospital, which is a great benefit to our value-based clients.
Awesome. Ken, we're so proud of you continuing to work on it, and it's so exciting, this news. Thanks for sharing it with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here. Ken is a really good example. If Jessica is an example of a scientific entrepreneur that we have, Ken's an example of these nonprofit entrepreneurs that we've had, whether it's Limitless or STAR and CCT, where they've developed a program in a nonprofit, find a market-facing application, and now can build a for-profit arm or separate company. It's really fun to see it to come to fruition, and thanks for sharing the celebration with us this evening. We have two more current fellows that we're excited to put in front of you. The first one is Lisa Chen.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa, founder of Oceanic Impact. Today I will tell you about our intelligent litter mapping and waste diversion tool. As a marine biologist, I've witnessed firsthand the social injustice and environmental impacts of marine litter. I founded Oceanic Impact with a mission to protect the over 600,000 miles of coastline around the world where humans interact with nature and the over 700 marine species that are currently impacted by marine litter. Approximately 8 million tons of plastic enter the ocean each year, causing grave environmental and socio-economic impacts, and around 80% of this litter is due to poor waste management. Our organization tackled this problem through education and tools development, and we measure success by the number of people we educated, empower, and enable, and the amount of trash we remove, and our impact on marine life. Today, I will tell you about the trash cam tool that we've been working on doing widely. Our target customers are municipalities, resource and property management companies that have litter management and reinforcement problems. Our beachhead market are municipalities with a population of over 100,000 and have a mission to keep their city beautiful and are interested in better staff management to tackle litter and generate additional revenue through litter fund reinforcement. Our tool processes litter photo to support better litter-related decision-making. Our system can be easily integrated into existing camera system in municipalities, process photo to identify individuals or entities who litter, and generate litter-related data. This data can then be used by municipalities to identify litter hotspots to better deploy their litter cleanup personnel, to manage and evaluate the effectiveness of existing waste management efforts, and to issue fines for litter violations. We generate revenue through a subscription software as a service model. The concept of municipalities using cameras for reinforcement is not new. Existing red light, speeding, and noise cameras in municipalities put the traffic camera system market at an estimate of $12.15 billion in 2023. My name is Lisa. I'm the founder and CEO of Oceanic Impact. I'm also a marine biologist, environmental educator, and a serial entrepreneur. Joining me on my team are individuals with a diverse skill set, and we are guided by a diverse group of advisors and mentors. Today, I'm asking for your support for introductions to municipalities who may be interested in our trash cam system, potential CTOs who may be interested in working at an early stage waste-related social enterprise, and support in raising $250,000 to build out our MVP trash can system for pilot testing. Together, we can help curb this marine litter crisis.
Lisa, I feel like I know that fish in the background by now. I've seen that background so much. I could guess how many are there. And we didn't get to say, tell the room where you're calling from, where you live full time.
Yeah, I'm just living west of Toronto, Canada.
Yeah, in Toronto, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lisa, the fun thing of one fun thing about me, one fun thing about Lisa is she led the tourist group when they were here in town, deciding where they would go. You remember that? Lisa was the ringleader for where they should spend their evenings when they didn't have program timed when they came into town. The other fun thing I was thinking about is your commitment to this environmental problem. I mentioned that we have in my head, social entrepreneurs end up falling in buckets. When you've worked with 100, you see these kind of types. Some have like a business where they're really motivated by the business and they stumble on an environmental, social, economic problem they could address, but they're motivated by this business solution. Lisa is motivated by this problem of the waste that finds its ways into waterways, and was working hard to build a business that could fund eliminating waste into waterways. What version of that business strategy would you say this trash can is, Lisa? If you had to guess, how many models have you explored?
Maybe just short of 2 digits. I think we made quite a few pivots along the way.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, could you say this pivot happened in the course of the rally program, right?
Yes.
Can you talk about how you landed on it?
Yeah, for sure. So previously, we started as an environmental education organization. So we done a lot of cleanups ourselves. But the issue we face is that sure, we can collect all this litter data, but we are not exactly moving the needle in terms of preventing litter to continuously enter our environment. So we started looking upstream, seeing what we can do. So when we were entering Wiley, what we were looking at is building a mobile app platform that leverages trash identification AI that helps support the cleanup process to help collect data on where specific types of litter is found and where are these hotspot areas too. So cities can better deploy their personnel to cut down on costs and to more effectively respond to litter. So through the Wiley program, what I realized is that our main selling point is this waste identification AI. Do we really need a mobile app platform where it actually adds an additional layer in collecting this image and this data? And the answer was no, like through talking to Ben and Kyle, is that we actually have an existing network of cameras that's working around cities or around properties that's already constantly collecting images that can be actually repurposed or to have added value in terms of waste identification, and we would cut down on a lot of the labor ourselves.
Yeah, and that's where you find the value for your municipal customers, right? Is cutting down on the labor, prioritizing, and making their trash cleanup strategies more efficient, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Can you say what's your next goal? Like if you're winning in 3 months, what are you doing with Oceanic Impact?
Yeah, for sure. So we are currently still in the process of talking to municipalities. Anyone that work with government know that is a very long process. So right now, what we are working on is casting our net wide to talk to different municipalities in both Canada and in US who is interested in supporting us to help pilot the system. So that's what we will be doing in the next few months, and we are hopefully able to land at least one pilot and raise funds to start building our MVP.
Awesome. Lisa, you're a great example of the social entrepreneur that won't quit. So I'm confident you'll get to your goal. Thanks for spending the time and coming through the rally program.
Thank you, everyone.
Our last fellow for this evening is Catherine Decker with Softly.
Hi, I'm Molly Hughes, and we watch the greenwash. When you look at a product label and it has claims that are vague and misleading, it's frustrating. Unfortunately, this is all too common when it comes to sustainability claims. So Softly's mission is to make it easy to be a responsible consumer by providing you data you can trust. But it's tough. There are 159,000 businesses vying for the attention of consumers, and sustainability is increasingly becoming a murky part of marketing. You see, even though 50% of new products on the market include a sustainability claim, less than half of those claims are actually validated, exposing businesses to risk. This can lead them to holding back on sharing their good works. So we have lofty goals, helping our clients adopt sustainable practices and increase their ESG reporting. We do this by identifying risky claims to help retailers, brands, and their consultants find the best certificates for their businesses. This is a widespread problem. Even brands with the greatest intentions, like Allbirds, can be accused of greenwashing. In the end, this lawsuit was dismissed because they had the data and certifications to back their claims. Softly has curated data that tracks sustainability claims and certifications. Think of us as customized sustainability risk surveillance. Businesses now have hundreds of hours of research and analysis at their fingertips. We have a tiered SaaS pricing plan which increases based on the tools and support provided. One of the top global consulting firms gave us verbal commitment that they will utilize our platform as a Softly Pro. This solution is part of the massive data market, with Softly being the first to leverage certifications and focus on greenwashing risk. Our team is made up of leaders in the field, with many trusted partners. Nobody is better equipped to solve this problem than our Softly team. So here's the opportunity we're offering. We're seeking a $500,000 investment, allowing us to complete the build of our platform. Softly will be the premier platform for sustainability market intelligence. So why invest in us? Well, brands need us, consumers embrace us, the team is right, the yield is high, and the time is now. We invite you to join us on this journey so we can all tread a little more softly on our world.
Hey, ladies, it's good to see you both here, Molly and Catherine. Thanks for joining us this evening. This is a space that, like, sometimes, you know, like, I don't give myself a hard time for not knowing so much about the problem Shahzadi is dealing with women in Pakistan, but I did give myself a little hard time for not knowing the scope of the problem that you guys are dealing with. I felt like I should know, but could you just recap again real quickly the problem that your customers facing, like the scope of the certification field and how hard it is to keep track of all the different certifications that are out there and available to them?
Sure. So great to be here. And when businesses are looking at the certification landscape, you have to understand that there's between 450 to 500 different certifications that they're having to choose from. Sometimes it's you know, they're very specific to a certain niche and it may be obvious, but other times they really need to kind of source out what is best for their business, what is best for their brand and the what they're trying to communicate, and what is it that will allow them to really access the markets that they're trying to access and deliver the message that they're trying to deliver. And this becomes even more important as we see programs like Amazon's Climate Pledge Friendly, Wayfair has Built for Better. There's all of these retail programs that are starting to come up, which kind of complicate the equation even more.
Totally. So it's like an emerging field where experts are needed, where if they leverage expert knowledge, it opens new markets for them. The other thing that I was really interested to find, you know, we make all of our fellows locate their social, environmental, or economic problem in one of the UN's 17 Sustainable Development Goals, where the UN has said we should all collaborate on addressing these 17 issues. And softly lines up really well. Can you say a little bit about finding that SDG and what it is that you're working for there?
Sure, sure. So, and we always knew that we were focused on reducing consumption or making consumption more sustainable. But as we dug into that SDG goal number with you, it really kind of stood, we were surprised, I think just as much as you were, to see that there was a portion of that that was perfect. And it's helping businesses increase their reporting and helping them improve the sustainability of their products.
Yeah, so Softly is squarely inside of that UN SDG that says we should get more corporations accurately reporting and gathering their sustainability information and getting it into metrics. Can you describe one thing that you guys learned or evolved in your strategy as coming through the Rally program?
So I think the area that was really important for us, or one of the things that Rally really brought forward for us, was the concept of the experimentation and the information that gave to us beyond just the response that we received to the different experiments we ran, but also then digging into the data and seeing that there were actual customers or markets there that emerged that we weren't expecting to see. One of them is, for example, is the retail organizations, that retailers may be interested in this information and having access to, confirming the sustainability aspects of the products just as much as the brands who are producing them, because they want to fill their shelves with these products, as well as confirm that what the brands are saying they're doing is what they're actually doing.
Awesome. One last question, Molly. I saw that you guys are working on a raise. What are the things that you wanting to put those dollars towards?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is completing a platform that can be used by businesses widespread. So right now, a lot of our customers, we're providing them manual reports using our data, and we would like to automate that process. So that's the biggest thing our raise will be for. So we would love anybody who is interested to learn more to reach out to us. And thank you so much to the whole Rally program. We've learned a lot, and you guys have been awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, Softly team. We're proud of you, and we'll see you soon, I'm sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one last person I want to bring up, and I mentioned that our fellows quit less often than most entrepreneurs because they're passionate about these problems. We're committed to surrounding them. I also mentioned that Lisa was their ringleader. We bring them into town from all over. So we were bringing in Shahzadi and Sannan from Pakistan while we were bringing Lisa down from Toronto. We meet them here. Sonder puts them up in apartments. They stay together. They get to spend time together while they're here in the City Beautiful. So we surround them with help while they're here, but we've realized that we want to surround them with help after they leave the program. And some of them are particularly well placed where they're at this threshold where they can scale or grow. And right now we've got Matt Umbers. Matt, if you want to come up, leading a new project that we're calling Rally Scale Up. And it's focused on helping these past fellows that are at this inflection point. Matt, tell us how you understand Rally Scale Up and what you want to see it do.
Yeah, it's great to be here. And Ken, I'll give you that bribe later for speaking highly of our work. Ben, I was thinking back to the 5-year that you had, and a lot of the organizations speaking about all the hard work that you've done through the Accelerator. And at the end, many of them said, but now what? And I'm at one of those inflection points. I just got my first customer and I want to get to 10, or got 10, I need to get to 100. And I think Leo pointed out, as an owner of a company, you're wearing multiple different hats, and you build a product, you got compliance and security and funding, and then it's, oh shit, now what do I do with my product?
Right.
So I think we saw an opportunity to really provide that support for folks who came through the Accelerator specifically.
Awesome. And Matt has lots of experience growing companies. He's really built on sales. I was excited to be able to bring Matt into this program for his mind for seeing what companies need next. If you were to describe the perfect candidate for a Rally 2.0 or Scale Up program, how would you describe that person?
Yeah, there might not be one particular organization, but one that is at a point where they feel like they have the product, they have the team, and they really just need that help with the discipline, the consulting to really go to the next level, to scale up. And I think what we found, which we've done pretty well now, within a 60-minute conversation, either way, it becomes obvious whether we could help or not. So I think that's the investment of time that we're looking for. And it was great to see Wilbur on here. We've been having some great calls. You know, when you've got someone with a lot of passion and a great product, and then it's okay, but now I just need a little bit of help, working with Kimber over at CCT. And I think that the customization of those engagements is what helps. It can be for any period of time, a heavier engagement as more of an interim sales, revenue growth, or more of a consulting perspective.
So the commonality you heard Kyle at the beginning talk about, a distinctive of the Rally program, is a willingness to get into the weeds of the model and what's working and what's not working in the theory of change and the business model. Get down into the weeds with you and experiment, design experiments, report back on them, figure out what's working and not working. This Rally scale-up is taking the same approach. Let's get down into the weeds on your sales strategy, on your operations, figure out what's working and what's not working, how we get you unstuck and keep you moving forward. So we're really excited about this program. We've just had some initial success. And so as you have social entrepreneurs, whether you're a past fellow or in the space, and you're at this inflection point where you need to scale or you need to raise, Matt is really good in 60 minutes. He'll know whether or not he can help you, and you want his help. So thanks for being here this
Thanks for
evening,
being
Matt.
here. I mean, great company. It's really inspiring seeing all of these entrepreneurs and all the impact they're having. So
For sure. Awesome. Thanks, Matt. So the last thing I want to say, thank you, Matt, is like, I don't know what you got for the rest of the evening, but whatever you have the rest of the evening, right? There are entrepreneurs in Pakistan and Toronto and New Jersey and Brooklyn who have seen problems, don't have all the solutions, but are moving forward. They're attacking problems with intensity and strategy to try and see measurable impact. And that ought to inspire you to take your own steps. Right? Our application is open. Apply now if you've got a social enterprise and want to see it move forward. We're always looking for the next innovative philanthropist to put on the team to surround these social entrepreneurs. Become a rally maker and join the team to surround these social entrepreneurs and help them address intractable problems. But the biggest thing for me that's been true for the last dozen years of my life is life is better when you live it with meaning, impact, and community. So don't just be a passenger, but make smart choices, move forward, and commit yourself to something you care about. Use these people as an example. Oh, they all showed ways you can help them. They're looking for CTOs, they're looking for strategic partners. So as you saw that, as it comes to mind, who sticks with you, don't hesitate to reach out to us, and so we can get you connected and help them take their next step. Thanks for coming. That's all we got.